So today we're going to take another look at Card Creator. They released version 2.2.2, which seems to have resolved a lot of the issues that I've been having. You'll see if we load up the second class Supers deck, if I scroll down, all of the card previews now work. Look at that, as they all pop into existence. And on the back side, it works. We can flip cards. It all looks good. You can see that finally they have that resolved for me, which is great. It makes it a lot easier to edit things and to kind of see your progress. They've also made some other minor changes as well. The 2.2.2 release, it fixes a bunch of different bugs, which is great. It allows you to export cards in specific sizes, which is really fun as well. You can see there's kind of a little visual glitch as the barrier between kind of the size and what it's been used for. So you can quickly say, oh, you know, I want the standard poker size, I want something smaller. Let's see here, Ticket to Ride card size. You'll see now it's 44 by 68. And let's do square. Oh, that looks really weird. 70 by 70. And let's go back to, there we go, the standard card size. You can even swap or rotate. So now it's the other way around. Again, that looks strange with the cards that I'm making right now. So let's fix that. There we go. And if we go back in, we're just fine, which is great. But today we're not actually going to be working with second class Supers. We're actually going to try something new. We're going to go ahead and try to create a Munchkin card. So if you've seen the cards before, they're not that complex. They have a title, some details, some card art, and a gold value. And that's what we're going to build today, is a treasure card. So first things first, we have to change the border to it's kind of a brown color, if I remember correctly. Something like that. Maybe not as yellowy. Let's try something like that. That looks about right. And the background, of course, is not this nice blue. It's kind of a really light yellow. Maybe something a little bit more like that. It has a title area, which this is already set up for, which is nice. Then it has kind of usually a detail area. So we'll just subdivide that. And then at the bottom, like I mentioned before, it has the gold area. So the price or value of the card. We're just going to make one card today. So I'm going to go ahead and actually set the art. And I have a little transparent PNG here of like a little gremlin creature. Change this to be text. Change this to be text. This text is going to be right aligned. Probably not going to be that big, so let's set it to 18. I don't really know which font would be best. I don't think it really matters for this demonstration. Let's say this little gremlin is worth 500 gold. And up here, this title will use this card name. That text is centered. This text is usually like left justified, usually with like a tab or an indent, and is much smaller. And a lot of their text seems to look very similar to the background color. So I'm actually just going to grab the background color and set the text to be equal to that. You can see over in the left hand side we have the ability to put in a hex color, which definitely makes this a lot easier than trying to match up the different RGBA sliders. So there we go. We can now call this What should our little gremlin friend do? Maybe +5 to either side. And again, you can write in whatever rules you want. And let's go ahead and just kind of adjust that text a little bit, because I think it's usually aligned to the top. Bring that a little tighter. And we can play with the fonts as well. Maybe something like that. We'll use the same font for everything. And what's really great, again, of course, is that you can set the number of them that you have. And when you export your set, you can see them there. And let's see if we can find an image for the treasure card back. So I'm just doing a quick Google search. And I found an image. It's not of good quality, but that's okay for this demonstration. And come back into Card Creator, back out of this area. Let's edit the back. Let's throw in that file. And now if we were to print this set, you'd see that we have both fronts and backs. It's not perfectly aligned or sized. You'd have to kind of work on the ratios and the image size for that, but that's totally possible, totally something that you could do. And you can add all kinds of interesting custom Munchkin cards to whatever kind of game that you're playing. I myself own nearly every expansion for kind of the classic original Munchkin, and this would be a great way to kind of add some unique flair to the game that no one else has. It definitely provides some insight into why I think Card Creator is such a cool little tool, and if you haven't checked it out, I hope you will. I think that's everything for today. I'm looking forward to Card Creator version 2.3 to be released soon. Some new things that they're working on for that I don't necessarily think are going to be game changers for me necessarily, but it definitely seems like they have some really cool ideas, and they are working on one of the things I asked for, which I'm looking forward to, which is the automatic save and backup system. In this demonstration, as you can see, I actually haven't saved once yet, and if the application were to crash, which up to this version I had a lot of crashes, if this were to crash, I would lose all this work, and that would be kind of disappointing. There we go. Now I've saved it. So I hope that gives you a good idea of what you could do with this application. I'm going to probably work on some other demonstrations for some other games. I'm collecting assets for them right now so that you can kind of get an understanding of how easy this tool is to use. And if you're interested in making cards for any kind of game, I highly recommend that you check this out. They are making huge advancements in this application, making it a lot easier. The layer management system is it's really slick. You can add in all kinds of layers on here, which would allow you to, each one you can subdivide and control and do different effects on. So like we could just really quickly as an example, add in something from my previous game, which is the drop shadow. Right, and we can have a drop shadow on our cards. Not that we would want to, I mean, that looks ridiculous, but it gives you an idea of what you can do with the layering system, which is really helpful. All right, thank you everyone.